Hello, and welcome to Consent, the Regulations and Tips, brought to you by the Office of Research Compliance. The consent process is a hallmark of human subjects research and is much more than collecting a signature. Consent is an active process that helps to inform people, it helps to build trust, it helps people decide if they would like to participate, and may even demonstrate project validity. Consent is not only an ethical obligation, it's the law. Today we will cover the essentials of consent, waivers and alterations in the consent process, tips on writing a consent form, and tips on administering and obtaining consent. Today we will not cover consent requirements for participants under the age of 18 and broad consent for the use of biospecimens and identifiable private information. These topics will be included in a separate guidance material. Please be aware that if your research is subject to other regulations, additional requirements may apply. Examples include the HIPAA privacy rule or the FDA regulations for clinical trials. The IRB expects that all human subject research abide by the regulations outlined in 45 CFR 46, which states, except as provided elsewhere in this policy, no investigator may involve a human being as a subject in research covered by this policy unless the investigator has obtained the legally effective informed consent of the subject or the subject's legally authorized representative. Consent must be collected in a concise and focused presentation of the key information. Consent must further be organized and presented in a way that does not merely provide lists of facts, but rather facilitates a participant's understanding. The Code of Federal Regulations further states that consent must be conducted under circumstances that provide the prospective subject or representative sufficient opportunity to consider whether or not to participate. For example, you may want to give the participant time to review the form with their family or friends. Consent must also be conducted in a way that minimizes the possibility of coercion or undue influence. For example, you should use a comfortable, neutral environment. Also, consent must use understandable language that is free of jargon. For example, an effective consent form reads at an 8th grade or lower level. Consent may not include exculpatory language.